Family, what we have always been talking about, that Zanu PF has eroded the moral fabric of our country. This exactly is what we are experiencing on a daily basis. We have always been saying that Zanu PF is an embarrassment to Zimbabwe. Zanu PF has led Zimbabwe to become one of the countries that you can't tell anymore who we are. We have lost our identity. We no longer know who we are, what we stand for, what we represent, because everything is just upside down. There is nothing totally that is still going on well in our country when we look at what is happening. Tiri kutaura nezvezanu PF MP Wekubhinya, an ex-wife. He has been dragged before the courts. Imagine that he did this at gunpoint. At gunpoint, for that matter. And this really is something that is so embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. Because we expect, like we always say, we expect these people to be the leaders that show where we are going. They must teach morals. Our young people must be learning from these people. But it's not happening. We are, in fact, sending a wrong message. As elders in the state or in the nation, we continue to see wrong messages being sent by Zanu PF people because of all this. So just imagine, let's just take a look at the story itself, and then we will discuss later. Let me just read for you. But of course, munoziva kuti pane vara risingazotenderwi neYouTube. Ndosaka andanyora varero nechishona, because usually they flag those letters, those words. Vanotanga kutoda kutotinetsa kuti wataurire vara iroro haridi kutaura. Iroro vara rekuti chibharo. Saka munofanirwa kuunderstanda why ndichidaro. Pandinosvika pariri ndichataura nechishona, so that tisaite problems, right? So I hope you understand, right? Saka tiri kutaura nezvenyaya iyi. Zanu PF MP wekubata mukadzi chibharo at gunpoint. Just imagine, and this is the man. This is the man. And this was an ex-wife. Zanu PF Mazoe North MP Tsungai Makumbe is in trouble after he allegedly abata mukadzi at ex-wife at gunpoint. The prosecutors allege this act resulted in pregnancy, and the complainant was also identified with HIV and sexually transmitted disease by the politician. Just imagine. Just imagine. Makumbe briefly appeared before Magistrate Gofa facing these charges. He was remanded out of custody, and bail issues did not arise because he was coming from home. Makumbe is expected back in court on October 3 for routine remand. Can you see that when it's Zanu PF people, it's so fast and easy. It's like microwave, how they are just given their bail and then they just go, just like that. The accused person proposed love to the complainant, but the complainant refused. The accused person pulled out a grayish pistol and placed it on the dashboard. He got out of the car from the driver's seat and proceeded to the passenger seat where the complainant was seated, and opened the passenger door where the complainant was seated and started to demand kuraranai from the complainant. The accused person suddenly pulled the complainant's, and we are not going to read that. It is alleged he forced the complainant, and then let's stop there. We don't want to go there. Let's not go there. But this is what it is, family. And I was saying that look at how fast things happen when it is Zanu PF people. We have people that were being denied bail. Just imagine, who were innocent, people that were arrested having committed no crime, but the courts would struggle to give them bail. And there comes an MP with Zanu PF. To them, it's nothing, because all of them are doing this every day, only that the matters are not being reported. They even have cases that are out there in the public domain. Saka, they do this every day. To them, it's not a big deal at all. It's not an issue. You see, it's not an issue at all. Saka zvinotowashamisa ivo. Kana vanhu vachitoshamisika kuti wow, how come this thing is happening? How come there are people that can still do this? Because every day it's happening. Many women are at the are suffering at the hands of these Zanu PF leaders. And only that they are afraid of reporting such cases. And yet, it's not doesn't mean that it's not happening. And this is why we have always been saying, family, that you will find that when Zanu PF goes out of power, we are going to have quite a lot of cases that are going to come to surface. Many, many issues, many cases of different nature that are going to be coming out soon after Zanu PF is out of power. But as of now, they are still enjoying. They are still doing it. They can still proceed with what they are doing, and they know that they will get away with it. But time is coming that all this that they are doing is going to come back and swallow them. Saka, it's so sad and painful. Could you want to go back to somebody that you have separated with Madivosa, and then the person is living their own life, and somebody who is NPF still thinks that he has a right over that woman, just because ndiwe ZANU-PF, just because ZANU-PF iri kubhinya vana veZimbabwe, iri kubata chibharo maZimbabweans. I was saying that the same issue, this same act, ndo imwe chete kuitwa naMnangagwa pama-elections. It's just the same thing. Zimbabwe iri kubatwa chibharo pama-elections neZANU-PF. We are being forced to want or to like a leadership that we have not accepted. And that's exactly what we are seeing happening. It's sad, really. And for that matter, this person is an MP, a lawmaker in Zimbabwe. Who are the people that are really supposed to be custodians of the law to make sure that the law is observed and the law is respected in Zimbabwe? But it's not happening. So how do we really find our country getting anywhere if we have people like this in our society? Society really continues to be a rotten kind of society when we have leaders in positions of authority and power being the kind of leaders that we are seeing right now in ZANU-PF. And they don't even mind, they don't care about it. You won't even see any alarm that is coming from ZANU-PF. You won't find even any ZANU-PF people who would talk about this, who would condemn something like this. Nobody. They won't do anything. They just watch things happening and they proceed. And this is the reason why we are saying Zimbabwe, we are not free in our country. Because as long as the freedom of expression, the freedom to justice is not allowed, is not given to the Zimbabwean people, this woman deserves justice. Imagine, Kuti, she found herself pregnant. She found herself HIV positive just because of this man. Maybe by the time that they divorced, this woman had escaped this HIV. It could have come after this man and her had separated. And right now, look at it now. So really, these are cases where strict judgments need to be delivered. Because this is just like murder. This is just as good as murder. The man has just killed this woman because you have just taken away a life. I'm telling you, a life will never be the same again after this. This woman can never be the same. And if we have a party, a government like ZANU-PF that does not respect women, that does not have respect for our women, then we are lost as a country. The beginning of nobility in a country, the beginning of respect in a country begins by having a leadership that respects women. So this really was supposed to be taken. And one funny thing about it, we have a ZANU-PF Women's League. We have other women rights groups that are attached to ZANU-PF. You will never hear them even a single day. Not even one day. You will never hear them talk. This now shows the level of rot that is in our country and in the leadership that are there today. The level of corruption that women can't even stand for each other. How many women do we have? Tinana Tatenda Mavetera, Tinana Kusindila Mnangagwa, Tinana Monica Mtsango, Tinana Monica Mabiza. We have got Vana Joanna Mamombe on the side of the opposition. Vana Linet Karenyi Kore on the side of that opposition, although it's a fake one. Where are they? This is the time that we expect to see women united and women standing up, women coming out to speak for their rights, to defend each other, to fight in each other's corner. Vanalinda Masarira, you never hear them talking about this. Instead, unomunzwa achiuya kuzosupporta what Zanu PF is doing. And they want to call themselves women's rights, they stand for women and what. We can't allow our women to be abused, our women to be vulnerable in a nation. In Zimbabwe, women are not safe. As long as women don't have anything to cook in their kitchens, it's already abuse of women. Women are not supposed to have a headache over what they should cook for their children because the economy is not working. It has been destroyed by Zanu PF. That's abuse of women. Women have their votes stolen when Mnangagwa is forcing women to vote for Zanu PF, or women stealing votes that belong to women. It's again abuse of women already. When we have women like Namatai Kwekweza being arrested when they are not guilty, just imagine. When we have people like George Charamba vachimoka Namatai Kwekweza over the issue of makeup because she was now in prison. This fool again, what is his name, who was also mocking women, mocking Zanu PF must learn that all these things that they are doing today is not going to just go unchallenged. There is a time that is coming where people that are abusing women, where all these acts that are being done, they are going to pay for this. They are definitely going to pay for this. And it's so sad that a country like ours continues to deteriorate in terms of our moral fabric. We need to protect women. We need to fight for the rights of women. We need to make sure that women are safe in our country, protected by the law, protected by the constitution. But Zanu PF, they don't care about the law, the constitution, because they are the number one people to abuse women in Zimbabwe. And it's sad, very, very sad. Gogomawi is saying, forcing yourself on your ex, they are a law unto themselves. Spreading HIV and to let and to them sounds normal. So sad and disturbing. Do we still have women's rights in Zimbabwe? That's exactly what we are talking about. That women's rights are no longer being observed. Zanu PF yakadhakwa kunge vakazvarwa nomunhu mumwe. Exactly. Vantange vakazvarwa nomunhu one. Tange mai one really. Afternoon chatufa chet. God is in it. Thank you so much, Sister Judith. Kumbula Thomas is saying, good afternoon, family. Keep the fire burning. We are listening. Thank you so much. Kogomawiri is saying, good afternoon, Mr. Chatufa and all change champions. Thank you so much for being on the show, for being here. So this is what we are talking about, in an embarrassing thing that continues to happen in our nation. We need to continue to stand, to fight for the rights of women, the rights of children, the rights of the Zimbabwean people. We need to push and make sure that Zimbabwe becomes free and Zimbabwe begins to work again. Zanu PF must go. Mnangagwa must go. And his cabal and cohorts, they must leave Zimbabwe. We want to begin to work on Zimbabwe, restructure Zimbabwe, and have Zimbabwe as a working country, democratic, law-abiding, and a country of respect, a country of peace and progress. That is all that we are fighting for. Until victory is certain, we are not going to give up. We are fighting until it happens. We are fighting until we see it manifest. Zimbabwe must become great once it has the great people in leadership. But this time around, we don't have those people. We don't have even a single person in Zimbabwe who deserves to be where they are today in terms of leadership. So all of them are rotten and they must just be flushed out. We definitely need leaders that respect women. Gogoma were saying, vanogona kutamba my will. Yes, zvese zvana my will izvo zviya. Zvinhu zvinonyadzisa kudaro. Zanu PF ichipromota zvinhu zvinonyadzisa. Madzimai evanhu vachitenderwa kuita zvese zvavanoita vachitamba vana mai will vavo zviya. That is wrong. What are they teaching our young girls? Vana vedu vadiki vechisikana vari kudzidzei. And it's so sad. Very, very sad. But no one is awake to this rot in Zanu PF. All of them are in their deep slumber. They are busy just thinking about themselves. Zvinonyadzisa say, our country deserves better. Zimbabwe deserves better. We can't continue to be watching things like this happening in our nation. We definitely need to fight for the rights of women. And the vakadzi vari muZanu PF must respect themselves. Kaona uri mukadzi ari muZanu PF, uchisiya murume wako, uchienda kunotsvikidza uko, uchitsvikidza chiuno chako pamberi perally yeZanu PF, you must know that you are coming from a deranged foundation. We don't even know whether family Awakava is a respectable family. If indeed you came from a respectable family, and indeed you are a woman of respect, and you are a married woman, a mother of children, you are not supposed to be ever allowing your children to see you do zvinhu zvakaora zvakada zvinonyadzisa. Hamunyari. Nyarai mamai ari kuteera Zanu PF. Nyarai. Respect yourselves first and respect Zimbabwe. Hatidi kuona zvitsvikidzo zvezviuno zvenyu. Endai munozviitira kuvarume venyuko. That is not ever supposed to be a public thing. It's things that are supposed to happen in your bedrooms with your husbands. Munozvinyadzisirei kudaro kuzvifumura pamberi penyika yose. Respect yourselves, women in Zanu PF. These politicians vamuri kutsvikidzira, they are going very, very soon. They won't be there anymore. But the reputation yenyu is not going to change. Imagine tomorrow when Zimbabwe is normal and all these idiots are gone. Then there is a man who wants to marry you. Maybe you were not married. Maybe you were a widow. Maybe you were divorced. And you want to be married. And a man who wants to marry you will see a video. Remember, my videos are going to social media. Internet will never forget. One day, a man who might want to marry you, achataridzwa video yako uchichikidzira munangago. Are you going to like it? Is he going to like it? Some of you are very excited today because you are being given some trinkets from Zanu PF. That time is going to be over of surviving on trinkets. A new great Zimbabwe is coming, which is going to be working for everyone. Nobody will be needing to get anything from Zanu PF. Nobody will be needing to get anything from some political party. And then your reputation will be where? Your reputation will be finished. You will never be able to recover from this. You imagine when you grow and you now have mkwasha. You now have mkwasha. Mwana wako aroro. Mkwasha wako achikuona ambuya. Vachitsvikidza zvamunoita zvamunyarire. Imagine by the time you have grandchildren, vazukuru vako, iwewe manje wachembera, you will be now in your 60s, in your 70s. Vazukuru vako, vanenge vane 19, 18, vane 20, and you will be looking at these videos, looking at gogo. Vachibvunza kuti gogo ndo zvamaita izvi when you were in your young ages. Are you going to like it? How are you going to erase that history which has been tainted already? Nyarai vakadzi vari muZanu PF. Respect yourselves. Kana muchitori married, varume vari muZanu PF, ukangoona mukadzi wako achienda achinotsvikidza kurally, uchimuregedza uchiti kwanzi hey, in the name of the party, you are a big fool. You are a big fool. You allow mukadzi wako kuita zvinonyadzisa, zvinhu zvokuti mangwana vana venyu varoorwa, hamudi kuti vakwasha venyu vazvione. Saka muri kumbozviitirei nhasi? Why are you doing it today? Why are you doing it? In the name of who? Mnangagwa, a president who doesn't have chiremera, asina kana respect the whole world. Mnangagwa is taken as one man who is so full of disrespect. And ndiye wamuri kuda kufira yeye. Muda kuuraya yenyu life. Muda kuuraya ma reputations enyu on behalf of Emmerson Mnangagwa. Shame on you. Shame. Respect yourself before any other person can respect you. You can't expect respect from people if you don't respect yourself first. Respect yourself. Mutange kunyara mega, kuzvitarisa mega. Mutange kuzviona mega kuti zvandiri kuita izvi. After 10 years from today, will I still be approving of this? After 20 years from this day, will I still approve of what I am doing today? What your wife is doing today? What your sister is doing? What your daughter is doing? What your aunt is doing today? Will you approve of it later on? Mnangagwa is not going to be there forever. Very, very soon, it's a matter of days. The man is going. And everything will go back to normal. But one thing will never be normal. Your lives will never be normal again. After exposing yourselves to that level that you are allowing yourselves to be used by this defunct party. Chatufa watsamwiswa neiko ndanonoka kuuya. Ndikutsamwiswa nevakadzi vari kutsvikidza kuZanu PF. Umwe wavo ari kunzi Wekubhinya ex-wife at gunpoint. Ndo zvatiri kuzama kuvataurira izvozvo. Kuti muri kushandiswa nevanhu veZanu PF vakadzi. Vamwe venyu vachibhinywa, imi makanyarara. Muchinzi tsvikidzai zviuno. That's what I'm telling them, that they must respect themselves. Because our country has gone to the dogs because of this. Mothers who are supposed to be respectable in society, who are supposed to be role models to the children, are the same mothers vari kushandiswa nezanu PF kunyadzisa vachiita zvitsvikidzo zvinonyadzisa pamarari ezanu PF. Things that are supposed to be hidden in the bedrooms are now being done in front of our children who are 14, who are 15, who are 16, because ZANU PF is pouncing on them also. This is what we are saying, Kuti. They must learn to respect themselves before anyone else can think of respecting them. And I was saying husbands must know kuti kana ukangoona mukadzi wako achinda kunoita izvozvo, you must know kuti mukadzi wako ibhazi revarume vezanu PF. Hauzivi zvine zviitika kumarali ikoko. Iwe uri kubasa kuri kuti mai vari kurari. Uri kuziva kuti after rally vananga kupi. Shame on you, varume vacho mese. Makapusa, makapata, muri mapenzi varume vezanu PF. You should never allow these things to happen to your women. Ende kunoshandiswa vakadzi vevanhu vasina mari. Ngakutsvikidze vakadzi vana Munangagwa kaipapa. Ngakutsvikidze vana Monica avo Tony. Kunotsvikidza vanogara kuzasi kumarokesheni, vanogara kuzviminda, vanogara vane poverty, vasina chinhu. Those are the ones that are used to do those dirty things, because they can't do that with their own wives. Kunishandiswa nezanu PF maZimbabweans, we must get to a certain time that we say it's enough. And then we refuse. And then we stop it in Grace Mugabe's voice. Thank you so much, family, for joining me on this show. We are crossing over to the main channel, Chatufa TV Productions, where we are going to be talking about the life of Zimbabweans in the diaspora. And I want you to come in your numbers there who want to talk and hear what is happening in different places in our world. Thank you so much. Remain blessed till we meet again in the upcoming shows.